But yeah, it's like there's like that TikTok that's like, is it me? Am I the drama? But it's like, so I titled
Am I
it,
the problem?
Am I the
Probably.
problem? Yeah, but it just talks about just like really just focusing your life and just getting ready for the next step, right? And like how every level you go at, or every time you progress in life, I'll say like 3 to 5% of your friends change, right? And so sometimes you burning bridges, sometimes then you look back and like, man, I have not talked to that person in forever. Well, they probably feel a way about that. But it's not even like me trying to feel like I'm better than them, right? It's more so just like, I'm focused on this now, right? So it's just always funny, like, hey, is it me? Am I the drama? But it's really just like getting really focused and pointed and like just living your best life, you know what I'm saying? Like what makes you the happiest, what makes you the most money, what's be the most efficient, right? Like me trying to figure out those balances. So I talk about things like that, so it's like.
Oh, you're about to kill this. I'm tossing you alley-oops. I'm not trying this time. I'm throwing alley-oops to you, buddy. I'm not trying this time, okay.
We love GRTV.
We love GRTV. We love GRTV.
We love GRTV.
Welcome back to We Love GRTV. I'm your host, Lorenz Davis, and you are here for your weekly gems from the 616. I'm here with my friend Vincent from Irie Kitchen, and you guys are just knocking it out the park,
That's
man.
good, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, of course, man. Of course. You guys are shutting down Kentwood.
Yeah, just trying, bro.
Best jerk chicken in the city, I think.
Period, bro. I think best jerk chicken in the nation. I'm gonna say that.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
So this is an entrepreneur family, right?
Yeah, man, my family's full of hustlers, bro. Definitely entrepreneurial, right? They hustle. I mean, like, what's the meme or the joke about Jamaicans? Like they got 3-4 jobs. I definitely grew up, in a hustle mentality, right? Like,
yeah.
A lot of foreign people look at America as a lick, and that's how we look at it. Like come here, there's a lot of opportunity, so you can make something for sure.
You know how many times I've been called Jamaican because I got 4 jobs, bro?
That's crazy. I was wondering, like, I was thinking when I first met you, like, man, is you Jamaican, African, something? Or you just, just...
Nah, I just got a lot of goals and ambitions, bro. And it's killing me.
Hey, man.
Ain't that from In Living Color, too? That Jamaican line?
I think so, bro. It's been around for a minute, bro. Like, when I was a kid, people said, oh, you Jamaican, you little hot. Like, I didn't really understand. But then I looked around like, yeah, bro, everybody working, bro. So,
everybody just got like 4 jobs.
Everybody just hustling, bro, doing something.
Dang, you call somebody, what you doing? At work.
Yeah, at work.
At work.
Yeah, even when they're at home, they're working on something. You know what I'm saying? Crazy.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
So you being Jamaican, when did your family come from Jamaica here?
My parents came, my dad came first. His story is crazy, his come up. He's from Jamaica, he was born and raised there. My dad left Jamaica around my age, around 25, 27, and he went to London first. Mm-hmm. You know anything about my dad? He came from the gutter, man. He really came out of it, and so a lot of his traditionally in foreign countries like islands, like it's hard to get into America, right? Like America's hard to get into. So like whether you go to Europe, you go to London, you go to Germany, those countries are a little bit easier to get in and take in people culture. And so, but a lot of his family was there in London. So, he worked, he saved up some money, he got his plane ticket, he went out there. And he was in London for a little bit, it was cool, but America, a lot of foreign is the goal.
Okay.
Right? And so, yeah, Pops ended up in Ohio, early 80s, and then took a bus to Grand Rapids on a whim. But while he was in London, he met my mom. Right, so they exchanged numbers and kept in contact. But yeah, he decided to move to Grand Rapids, build his life, and he bought a house on Oakdale. So that's where...
House still there?
House is still there. Yep, house is still there.
House is there. So your dad having that story, how did that influence your upbringing?
Man, so you have my mom, my dad, right? So my dad is definitely a positive guy, very optimistic, very hardworking, very do it right the first time. A lot of just honest hard work, right? So I get that from my dad, right? So you see, I saw my dad as a kid, never not working, right? always
Right.
progressing, always moving forward. Like he loves growth. Like you come in the restaurant today, Pop's working. He's 60-some years old. You know, most 6-year-olds are trying to chill, whatever. Well, he's not going to stop.
Right,
You know,
right.
he loves what he does. He loves to work, and that just gives me like a lot of like encouragement to keep going. And like, man, my dad's hustling at 60, bro. I can hustle at 20, bro.
Right.
And so like you get that kind of grind from my dad. And my mom, man, she's also a hard worker, but she's smart, you know. So I get my finesse from my mom, I'll say, right? Like being able to articulate yourself, understand what's going on, the strategy, thinking about things. I get that from my mom. So I got a little bit of both of them. Yeah,
Okay.
it was cool growing up. You know, watching them work hard.
Okay, how many siblings you have?
I have a twin sister. That's it.
A twin sister?
Yep.
Was she there when I was there at the restaurant?
No, she wasn't.
Okay.
She actually just moved back in town. She was in North Carolina for a while. She's going to medical school, so she's doing that route.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's dope, bro.
Yeah.
So who taught you how to cook the chicken that way? Because it's delicious.
Okay, listen.
It's out this world, man.
Yeah. So, my parents love to cook.
Okay.
And so both sides of my family, extended family, food is huge. So, man, I just remember being a kid and I love to eat. And I used to just watch her make food. To be honest, how I got into cooking is that my parents worked a lot, right? So if I wanted to eat or I wanted to do, I had to go do it myself type energy, right? Not saying they didn't feed me or whatever, but when they're gone, right? So I used to just watch, and then I used to pick up things. Oh, okay, that's how dad cut the onion. Okay, that's how mom seasoned the chicken. And I would just experiment when they were gone, bro. I'm talking about 6, 7 years old. I'm just at the kitchen, okay.
How many times you mess up some chicken, some food?
Man, bro, you mess
Did you make somebody throw up?
No, they made anybody throw up, bro. But you do mess up at first, right?
Okay.
You're okay, whatever. But I'm a good watcher. So if I see you do something, I can kind of pick it up. You know what I'm saying? So you mess up though. There's a lot of trial and error, right? But once my parents caught on to I was cooking, 'cause my sister snitched on me. She was hey, every time y'all leave, Mrs. making food. You know what I'm saying?
Hating early.
Yeah, because I couldn't want to give her none. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it was.
'Cause
See, it's
I was-
always something, bro. It's something.
I want to give her none. I'm you gotta learn how to cook, you know. But from there, I kind of just learned. My dad really taught me the importance of knowing your ingredients. Here's an onion, try that. Here's a pepper, try that. Here's a tomato, try that. So you understand the core flavor, and that's how you build a dish. It's flavor. You make it taste great. My mom taught me the authentic way of cooking. This is how you make curry goat. This is how you make curry chicken. This is how you spice things up. This is how you do it. This is how you make rice. This is how I do. So I got from both of them. Both of them taught me how to cook for sure.
Okay, so how long has Irie Kitchen been open, or when did you get the idea to start the business, really?
Okay, so man, when I was a kid, I thought I was gonna have 100 restaurants. That was my dream. Do 100 restaurants, become a billionaire. That's what you used to say at 6, 7 years old. So it was always in me. I just didn't know what restaurant I was gonna do. And to be honest, I thought I was gonna start doing restaurants when I was 30. That was my mindset. But how I got the idea for Irie Kitchen, I was at culinary school. I went for a semester, and we had a restaurant building class, right? Now I'm not too great at school, man. I never really got good grades, but I took this class and it just hit me one day. I was Irie Kitchen, and the first concept was Irie Kitchen. It was Irie, and it was fresh, organic, good. And I was I felt it in my soul, felt in my bones. I got a good idea, bro. I'm sitting on some.
Yeah.
And I did the project, whatever, and I got an 89 on it, right? And I was that's all I needed.
He said, that's all I needed. I ain't need 100 or nothing, bro.
I need 89, bro. And I just ran with it. And the brand has definitely evolved, but Irie means everything's good. Everything's good in Jamaican, so that's where kind of the concept came from.
I like that name. Now that I know what it means, I really like that name now.
Yeah.
Everything good.
Everything Irie. I done.
All good. Red bottoms on, life is good.
Yeah, life is good.
So what's a typical day look like for you?
In the restaurant?
Yep, as a business owner, as a restaurant owner.
So restaurant, is very hands-on. Every day is something going on, right?
Yeah.
So you're just running around. I say a typical day looks like for me, You know, you wake at 6, 7 a.m. You go to the kitchen. You start like laying out, cleaning the table, laying everything out. Make sure you have your plates, your forks, your knives. Make sure like we have the drinks ready. Then you start really like prepping the food. You start cooking the curry goat. You start seasoning up the curry chicken. You really start making the food. We open at 11 for lunch. So then lunch kicks off, and we're just running the business, right? You're answering calls, you're filling orders. Maybe you have some catering done. You do catering. So that's like the operations of the restaurant. When I'm not in the restaurant, it's a lot of just like pre-work. So it's any emails I have to do, any planning, any like strategy for social media. A lot of my time and attention goes there. And any like other projects I'm involved in or I'm doing goes into when I'm not working at the restaurant. So.
Okay, let's go back to social media. You're a hard man to find.
Yeah.
You're a hard man to find.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know you had a strategy for social media. I know you and Mikey, when you opened it, you guys had a huge celebration going on. How do you, what's your social media game plan now? Because you're not really on there. I can't find you. I had to drive over the city to find you. You know, what do you do now to market your business?
So, you know, Irie Kitchen still has an Instagram. Personally, you know, my personal brand was definitely a big driver of the restaurant. I just kind of, you know, during the pandemic, 2020, 2021, and now 2022, a lot of things are changing, right? You got to pivot. And I just kind of felt like Instagram for me was more of a distraction. And I wasn't really utilizing it the way I needed to utilize it, or I didn't really know what was next for me with my personal brand. So I kind of decided to like go off social media, and really just dial in Irie Kitchen's brand more and be like, okay, like how does our brand act and how does it feel? Who are we talking to? How do we expand outside of the Grand Rapids to reach that bigger audience? Because we kind of want to like change our business model a little bit, right? And so that's kind of been my philosophy on social media. I do think social media had, like, you know, we're in Kentwood, we're in a strip mall outside the city. So Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, like TikTok, like that's how I grow my business, right? I'm not getting foot traffic. I'm not getting awareness from being downtown. I don't have a liquor license. So this is strictly like really like brick by brick, like social media. You tell a friend, hey, that shit's fire. And people come, right? And so that's how we do it.
So me and you were both cool with Mikey, right?
Yeah.
Does he do a lot of video stuff for you?
Yeah, I'm wearing his merch right now. Yeah, Mikey.
That is CTC.
Yeah,
Shout out CTC, man.
Yeah, Mikey. Yeah, I met Mikey probably, man, maybe it's like 2 years ago, maybe now. We were both aware of each other, but we never met. You know how like GR is, right?
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, you gotta meet this guy, and you're like, I don't know, right? Like, not like you don't want to, but it's just kind of like whatever. And then we met, and me and him just became really cool. Yeah, man, like Mikey, you know, makes videos and he's a creative, and so I was like, hey man, like I always need creative. So, you know, me and him put our heads together, and we've done a couple of projects, we've done a couple of things together, and yeah, Mikey's definitely that creative liaison for me for sure. And he does the videos, and yeah, shout out to Mikey.
I ain't seen my dog in a minute. I gotta go see Mikey.
Yeah.
I talked to him the other day though. Yeah. So, without success, you can't have failure. Yeah. What are some of the biggest mistakes you made when starting your business, running your business, or?
A lot, bro. Failure is the barrier of entry, bro. You're gonna fail a lot.
Yeah.
You're gonna do a lot of things wrong, especially like, you know, we talked about earlier off camera, or you know, it's just like, yo, who do we know that looks like us doing the things that we're doing? Mm-hmm. So there's not a lot of people you can ask questions to.
Right.
And so I'll say some of the biggest things that I did wrong is that, and I knew this, but I didn't stand on it more. Our location. Location is everything, especially in a market like Grand Rapids. And I knew my product was great, and so you want to give yourself the best shot to get the most customers. And luckily, like my family and myself are hustlers, so we have no problem working hard. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you know, you want to make sure when you do a retail business that you're in an area that fits what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And be smart about that.
Yeah.
So I think I could have picked a better location. I do think not being as fast to things. Speed is definitely a variable in business. You want to be quick. You want to be on it. You want to keep that momentum up.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it, but it's easy to lose it. And so once you have that momentum, you want to keep building on it. You don't want to let go. But like, consistency, when you try to manage a lot of things, it gets hard. And I think the third thing is like, definitely not focused enough on things. I was 19 when I started, so.
Wait. You were 19 when you started?
Irie Kitchen, yeah, opened Irie at 19.
That's dope.
So for me,
That's
it's like,
dope.
I was 19 years old. Like, I was trying to balance being young and like doing everything. And,
That's hard.
Right? It's
That's
hard,
really
right?
hard,
like,
bro.
Like I'll tell you, like
Party.
no,
work on my
literally, bro.
business.
We were open 6 days a week. We opened at 10 a.m. and we closed at 10 p.m. And I still had like a social life. I was out. So like, so imagine like I'll be out night around on the town, and I gotta be at work by 10. So I gotta be up by 6. So I'm like coming to the house at 2. You know what I'm saying? So I was living.
I know you was tired, but
I
you
was tired,
can't
man.
stop though. I know you was tired, but you can't stop.
And that's what goes back to being focused.
How many times you take a nap in like the back room when it was like not enough people coming in? You just take a little nap in the back.
Man, I never took a nap, bro. I would just grind it through. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying?
I would have to take a nap in the cooler or something just for a minute, just to
man,
regroup.
Because sometimes you don't, like when we get busy, bro, it's just like you don't got a chance, bro. You know what I'm saying? But you definitely be zoning out when people are trying to talk to you. What you just say? What you want? People like, what? I'm like, yeah, bro.
Just write it down, bro. I want to like hear what you talking about.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Oh, I had that problem too, so I know exactly what you mean. Like, hang out, keep grinding.
Yeah.
Go to bed a little early, prepare for tomorrow. You know what? Somebody just called me. I might as well step out for an hour.
Yeah.
It don't turn into an hour.
Yeah, it's always longer,
It's
right?
always
longer. And
Actually, when we met at Social House, that was one of them times. I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be out right now.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
not even supposed to be out.
And then you out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But it was networking though. It was networking. That's how I lied to myself.
Connect, exactly. It's a balance,
Yeah. So where do you plan on taking your personal brand? Where are you going the next 5 years?
I'm definitely in that pivot, those major decisions. I think for me, restaurant business is cool and I appreciate it, but I want to do more. So I see myself next 5 years probably like buying and selling companies, and like building a holding company, and like building brands, right? So I want to get into CPG space, consumer product goods, like the Kellogg's, like your cereals, like, I want to like develop a drink. I want to develop hot sauces. I want to develop like syrups. I want to like just play in that space. And I just want to like build brands, sell them, buy brands. And so that's kind of where I see myself doing the next 5 years, is more playing like that kind of game. Just kind of like expanding my knowledge, expanding my network. Personal brand wise, I feel like I really want to I didn't do this enough with Irie, really explain the process and my steps and like what I'm going through day by day, week by week, year by year, and my thought process. I didn't really document the process, right? Like people see me now, like, oh wow, it's cool. It's like, man, like.
Do you know what it took to get here?
Yeah, it took a lot to get here. And so with this next, life, business is cycles, life happens in cycles. It's 5 to 7 years. And so you want to reinvent yourself every time, right? Not really change your personality, but like are you gonna keep growing your brand, keep growing what you're doing, or you're gonna like pivot? And so for me, it's a little bit of both. So I just want to make sure I'm documenting that process and giving back as much as possible, but just learning new things and connecting with as much people as possible, right? And my podcast is about giving out free game.
What's the name of your podcast? We were talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it back up, because it sounds dope.
The podcast is called the Doncast, D-O-N and cast.
Irie Don.
Yeah, I'm the Irie Don. So it's literally a free game. And so I have interviews on there, people that I know are hustlers, and we get in deep, and it's 2-hour stories, right? We talk about a lot of things. I have my quotes or things I talk about, or my perceptions on things. So that's what the Doncast is all about. Just free game, bro. Just what I'm going through, what I think. Yeah, my frameworks, things like that.
All right. Before we get to the big question, what else you got going on? Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, man. Anything going on for me is just again, to like grow the brand, expand the brand. That's where kind of like my mindset is, and being super focused and spending a lot of time on the details.
Okay.
What that looks like for us as a team. I want to grow. I want to do a lot of things. So that's what this year is really dedicated to. I mean, for you, like I guess like you know, like what's next for you? What's your North Star? Like what do you?
You said to me last time that
Yeah.
North Star. That stuck with me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, what's your North
You had me in the
Star?
car. I had to turn the music off and start pondering.
You're like, what is my North
What
Star?
is my North Star?
I ask everybody that question. What's
What's my
your
North Star? That's deep.
You know?
Spiritual. Damn, bro.
Yeah.
You can't say a bad answer to that.
Yeah.
To create as many things that leave a legacy. Sounds very broad, but even something as small as this, you can come back 20 years from now when Grand Rapids is a whole new city
Yeah.
and be like, wow, he did that in this room.
Yeah.
That's where I want to start. And it starts not with creating things, but also with meeting people, leaving a great impression,
Yeah.
and just building, networking, being a star.
That's amazing, man.
It's a process.
Yeah, it's a process.
Definitely a process.
It's a game.
All right, this is the big question. I ask this every episode. We all live in the same place. We all got the same problems when it comes to the city.
Yeah.
What can we do to make Grand Rapids a better city?
Man.
Everyone does that every time I ask that question.
Yeah,
It's such a deep question.
It's just a deep question. Like, you know, I guess we got to define what's better, right? Like the market is the market, and so like, how do you change the market? You got to have a lot of things happen at the same time. So we're going through a renaissance period right now in Grand Rapids, right?
Define Renaissance period.
So for me, it's like creativity, the economy. We're going through a recession, so you have a lot of people don't know that yet. But we are. So we're going through a lot of things. So you have a lot of arts happening, a lot of events happening, a lot of creative people happening. And so we're going through this renaissance period, a culture shift. And so with that, you know, I think a lot of people are excited for what a better Grand Rapids could be. But you have to have a lot of people involved, and a lot of people investing in that. So you have to have the big players who want to see that same thing happen. Everyone has to be kind of aligned and doing their things. And so I think what makes a better Grand Rapids, I think giving the youth more opportunity to do things, right?
Pass the youth the ball.
Give the youth the ball, let them shoot, let them be creative, let them do things, let them get their piece, you know? A lot of people in the business world look at Grand Rapids as a small pond, and they want to be the big fish in the small pond, which is great and all, but that creates a lot of competition. That creates a lot of like, I got to eat you so I can survive mentality, that crab and the bear mentality, and I don't think that's great for our city, right? Like, I think you got to kind of reverse that, because it is a small city, it's a very small community, so we got to like raise the tide, right? What's the quote? Rising tide raises all ships. And so I think we need to have that mentality, that culture going on as a market, and we all have to participate. And we always got to look to see not what we want, but what does Grand Rapids need, right? And so those kind of questions, like, because beer blew up, food and travel blew up in Grand Rapids, right? So
Is that why there's so many hotels downtown?
yeah, hotels, like Amway Corp is invested in hotels, right, and travel and having people come here. And so you got to like balance your ideas and what you want versus your need, what the city needs, right? And being a good business person, being a good creative is understanding what's going on and how you can communicate that through your discipline, right? So they're developing hotels because they're noticing that people want to come here and want to spend time here for business, for whatever. But also right now, right, real estate, right? So we need a lot of homes, we need a lot of short-term rentals, we need all that happening because the city's growing, right? So as the city grows, what else needs to happen? We need cooler restaurants, we need more bars, right? Okay, now we need more music scenes. Okay, what kind of music scenes do we need, right? So you start going down.
I'm loving this.
You know
Keep
what I'm saying?
going. Keep going.
Right, so we need more music scenes, right? So like, okay, we got a lot of EDM, we got a lot of country, we got a lot of, okay, we probably need some more like Afro-Latino, we probably need some more hip hop, right? So you start going down the line, okay, so travel. Okay, do we need a better bus system? Do we need more scooters? Funny thing is like, shout out to Fun Guy. I was in Fun Guy's ear for the longest to get scooters in the city. We finally got them. So I was like, yo, we need scooters because the city's small, and so you can actually get around to a lot of places on
actually,
scooters.
yeah.
Right, so all those things create new things. You get what I'm saying? And so you just gotta like balance your wants with what the city needs and what does the market want, and how are people gravitating, like where are they moving towards, right? And that's how you kind of build your thing. 100%.
I can attest to you about the transportation.
Yeah.
Since I work, at GRTV, I work
Yeah.
in the station. We film every month, once a month.
Yeah.
The mayor come in for City Connection,
Yeah.
say what they're working on, what they got going on. So I can tell you, right now they're working on finding a police chief, because the police has been a problem all year in almost all cities. But
Yeah.
the transportation part, that's one thing that you said that's actually really happening real time now.
Yeah.
They're working on the transportation, but like the other stuff, like the stuff you mentioned about music, the travel scene, that part wasn't ever mentioned. That's a whole other ball game.
Yeah.
But just you mentioning that, just know there's more to it. And you have to really be in the know to really be a part of it and make a change.
Yeah.
I would say, keeping the question in mind, what can we do to make Rapids a better city? Adding on to what you said, what you described was the big things have to happen first and the little things that happen later. That's what I heard you say.
They gotta happen simultaneously, right? They gotta be working together. And so for such a long time, it has been separate.
Right.
You have your creatives, you have your urban people, then you have your big business, right? So like they're not talking, they're not communicating. And so if Rockford decides to develop an area, what does that look like? And what is like needed for that? And how do we build businesses that support that? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Those conversations definitely need to happen more. And that's how it works, right? Like that's how, I think the culture, right? Like we can't stomp out culture because we're afraid of things we don't know.
Right.
And so we got to fight for things. Like there's only like for me to be one of the only Caribbean spots in town is cool, right? Great for me, but it's like, we need more. Right? And people are like, aren't you afraid of competition? I'm like, no, like we need more. We need to expand more things. The idea, the perception of things. You go to New York, you go to Austin, you go to Toronto, you go to all these bigger cities that we're modeling ourselves after, right? Everyone keeps getting like the big things right, but the small things make those cities, right? The reason you like those cities is because the culture is there. Like you like Detroit for the culture. You don't like Detroit because it's big.
Right.
Detroit has a certain culture you're looking for. Chicago has a certain culture.
You can go there for a football game, basketball game.
Exactly.
Different types of clubs.
Exactly.
If you're creative, there's all sorts of studios to go to, plus fashion.
Exactly. And that gets people going. That's how you get your Virgil Ablohs, you get your Kanye Wests. You got to create that. You get your Drakes, you get your Michael Jackson, you get all that from the culture, right? And so people have to invest into that, if that makes sense. From my viewpoint.
This switch from We Love GRTV to the Doncast. This definitely took a switch. I gotta tune into your show.
Yeah, bro.
I gotta tune into your show.
Yeah, but GR's cool though.
Yeah, I like it. There's
a lot of negatives, you know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of negatives everywhere,
Yeah,
bro. You go to Chicago,
exactly.
come on, you know what I'm saying? But it's just one of those things where it's like, this is my philosophy. Wherever you go, there you are. If you do dope stuff in the middle of nowhere, you do dope stuff in a huge city.
Yeah,
it don't matter where you are.
I think the quote, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Man, I think you can make it in GR. Grand Rapids, you can make it anywhere.
Make it anywhere. It don't matter, because if you dope, you dope. Nothing can stop you.
Exactly.
But
I agree with that.
Thank you for coming to the show.
All right, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate it,
man.
Till next time, you have any shout outs to make to the people?
Hey, man, shout out to 616, shout out to the gym, shout out to this show. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Everyone live their best life, climb your own mountain.
Yeah.
Remember, everybody can't come, and just be you.
Deep and spiritual, bro. What's your North Star? What's your North Star?
What's your North Star, man?
Everybody want to comment North Star. But, all right, till next time, folks. See y'all later.
Peace.